Untamed is going to be untamed. It's going to be a little crazy. I want to talk to my people. I want to talk to my brothers and sisters. We can have grace and humility in how we interact with other people.
Oh, hot dog, look at you.
And nobody talked about what's really happening.
And let's have conversations about what truth is. Well, hey, welcome back. It's Wednesday. Nope, it's Thursday. It is Thursday. It is Thursday. I thought it was, yeah, something's wrong with me. Actually, there's nothing wrong with me, but there could be something wrong with me because I don't have a lot of credibility. So I'm here as your incredible, uncredible individual. You know, I had a conversation with someone this morning who had a conversation with one of these people that I was talking about before, who called my assistant, and you know, the grifting crew, as I like to call it. It filled up. Just imagine like a vat where people are like, oh, you know, I'm going to tell everyone that I am for, you know, protecting the U.S. and standing up for others and doing all this great stuff. And really, all I want you to do is to pay me so I can hang out and be cool and say I had a seat at the table. When he called me, he's like, Joe, I don't know why there's so much division on the right. And I said, well, I know why. Because we're infiltrated by sleeper cells. These are people that have been in the right to cause as much pain, confusion as possible. So these are people that could be standing up for an initial, you know, I'm standing up for people and I'm going to do everything else, but then they're attacking everyone inside of the movement. And I remember when this first started 5 years ago, when I got involved, I thought everyone that had to be involved in this had to be doing it for the right reasons. And what I've come to the conclusion of 5 years later is that there's just not a lot of intelligent people in the movement. There just isn't. So I'm joined by my friend who's here with me today, and we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. President Trump just kicked off this Asian tour, and he made a massive deal with Xi in China to kind of get this fentanyl under control. So I want you to hear this. He just got done meeting with President Xi of China in South Korea. So I want you to see this. Let's play this first one.
I thought it was an amazing meeting. He's a great leader of a very powerful, very strong country, China. And what can I say? We have, it was an outstanding group of decisions, I think, that was made. A lot of decisions were made. There wasn't too much left out there. And we've come to conclusion on many very important points. On fentanyl, we agreed that he was going to work very hard to stop the flow. You know, it's a very complex subject because it's used for lots of different reasons, including anesthetics and things. But he's going to work very hard on it, precursors, and I think you're going to see some real action taken. I've agreed, as you know, I put a 20% tariff on China because of the fentanyl coming in, which is it's a big tariff. And based on his statements today, I reduced it by 10%, so it's 10% instead of 20% effective immediately. I believe he's going to work very hard to stop the death that's coming in.
You know, it's not something you can really measure very effectively because they've gotten a lot smarter about developing and creating fentanyl even outside of China. So we'll monitor it and see how it goes. The Treasury Secretary Bessent said that President Trump's Asia trip could result in an added investment for the United States. Let's go ahead and take a look at that.
What is your reaction to what's happening with this government shutdown, and when would you expect some kind of an agreement here to reopen government?
Well, Maria, as you said, the contrast could not be more marked. that President Trump comes out to Asia, and I think at the end of the day, just this trip alone may end up in $2 trillion of investment. Then we go home, and the Democrats have decided, because of their poll numbers, because I don't even know why they've decided to keep the government shut. If you look, the vote is 52 Republicans have voted to reopen. 3 Democratic senators have done the brave thing, come across the line, and we're coming home. And it's a global embarrassment that these Democrats are doing, and I think part of it is the mainstream media is not holding them accountable. If the Republicans were doing this, anytime the Republicans have refused to reopen the government, the amount of terrible press that they get from the mainstream media is borders on hysterical, and where's the fairness here?
So President Trump's over there trying to get a bunch of stuff done in Asia. And I feel like every time we turn around, I have my friend Derek Arahi.
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 You say it wrong all the time on purpose.
He tried to jump up and punch me in the face.
It's Arahi. The J is like an H.
He's Spanish. Yeah, he's Mexican. I asked him for his green card right before he came in. He didn't give it to me. So
no, my father came in the 50s legally from the Dominican Republic. I look very Dominican because my mother's German.
Me and Derek have been friends for a long time. We were upstairs just visiting, and I was like, "You're coming on the show with me."
Here I am.
And just so you know, he was a stockbroker on the exchange for many years. He still is. When I talk to you about stuff that I talk about for stocks and things, I've given him a couple tips. He's given me a lot of tips.
He has.
Yeah. But when I talk to you about stuff and I'm like, hey, this is what's going to happen, I'm referring to Derek. Derek is the man behind the boogeyman behind the curtain that's giving me ideas.
It's 50 years of following the market. I have a lot of experience.
Pretty good at it, huh?
Well, it's a lot harder today than it was when I was in it.
So Derek also semi-retired when he decides he wants to be retired. Sometimes not retired when I actually tell him about bright ideas that I have.
He's always trying to get me to come back to work.
Yeah. But he also is deeply involved in politics. Deeply involved.
Yeah.
People, the radical left in Monument loves you. They are your best buddy, aren't they?
Yeah, my name comes up at every school board meeting all the time, even when I don't know that it's coming up.
And you have a school board meeting coming up.
Well, we have an election coming up, and we have a radical freak leftist. She's Antifa, BLM. She is against charter schools. She takes kids to drag. No, she doesn't take them. She is part of the Parasol Patrol. Those are the freaks with the umbrellas and all the rainbows that are guiding these kids in. They're 12-year-old boys that dress as girls, dance on stage while adults throw dollar bills at them. And I sent Austin some of the pictures.
Hey,
if you want to put them up.
Do we have these pictures we can put up real quick? So this is the person in a highly conservative environment where parents are deeply involved that is grooming children into drag shows. I get that right?
Here's what they did. Once this was exposed, Jordan Scott from First Amendment Media, he got video. He has video inside, video outside, and he exposed all of this. And I held on to the tapes because what's the point of slamming her unless she's trying to further bad things?
Right.
Well, as soon as she ran for the school board, I called up Jordan, I got the tapes, I got everything, and we've been exposing it all. Because this kind of behavior doesn't belong. That right there, go back to the last one, that is the flyer for the drag show that she was there to assist kids going into the show. They have 12-year-old boys that dress up as girls and dance on stage, and and this is what they said when they were caught. They came out and she said, well, this is how I'm supporting parental rights. This is what the parents wanted. And since I support parental rights, I was supporting the parents, helping their kids go into this drag show.
Do you believe that?
Of course not. These people are demons. They have an LGBTQ trans agenda. They want to indoctrinate kids into their agenda as young as they possibly can. That's what the thing is. The state of Colorado is so evil that they've made conversion therapy against the law. They've made it the law that when you're 12 and above, if you go to a psychiatrist and you say you're an opposite gender, they must affirm it. It's against the law to convert you out of that thought. And at the same time, they passed a bill that they have to include LGBTQ plus whatever into four-year-old preschool curriculum. So they've made it against the law to counsel you away from it and made it the law that you have to introduce it in preschool.
Why are these people still breathing?
I don't have any idea because, listen.
I mean, I'm going to say it. You're grooming children.
Yes.
You're promoting pedophilia. You have, and I talked about this a couple days ago. You have an entire porn industry that the synagogue of Satan, this group of people, and I say this because I have Jewish roots. I have Jewish friends that are real Jews. In other words, they're God-fearing, good people, right? But let's be honest. The synagogue of Satan, these Jewish people that call themselves rabbis, own Pornhub, OnlyFans, all that degrades our society. They're responsible for and run every one of the LGBTQ environments. They run all the nonprofits. They're part of the Lawyers Guild that basically props this stuff up and fights to put this smut inside of all of our schools. We have a serious problem.
Well, you have to think about this for a minute. 30 years ago, we didn't have people the age of 20 years old confused about their gender. Now, something like 30% of all kids in college are confused about their gender.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have very many 50-year-olds confused about their gender.
No.
Why do you suppose that is? The reason is because they've been doing this for the last few decades in the schools and for young people. And when young people are in the impressionable age and they start fighting with their parents in their teens, anybody who brings them over to their side and says, oh, don't listen to your parents, listen to me, they're very easily convinced that they're things that they aren't. And they say that it's not happening. They're liars.
It's happening every day.
Every day.
In a massive amount. You can see it in the numbers. So I just asked you a question again. Why are these people still walking around?
Well, I'm working on a invention, and I'm hoping to get a patent for it, where you can have a portable gallows that you put on the ball of your truck, your F-150.
I told you Derek is just on fire. I set him up for this, by the way.
Because we're going to need so many of these gallows to take care of so many of these bad people. We need to market it worldwide.
Is it going to be like a George Jetson briefcase? Just throw it down.
It pops right up. Yeah.
Just goes right around their neck.
Yes.
Stretches them out just a little bit.
Yes. We're going to need a far drop with a short rope.
I mean, I don't know how you do that. I mean, I guess you could just use buildings.
But the back of the pickup truck is really good because at a moment's notice, you can pop it up.
He's kidding. Kind of.
Kind of.
At the end of the day, we want prosperity for our children.
Yes.
And as we talk about people, gay, straight, it doesn't really matter to me, right? And I don't think it matters to anyone. It's a hard life. I mean, living a gay lifestyles, it's hard. And we see that there's difficulty because you see high suicide rates, you see high mental health issues, you see a lot of different things in that environment. And now these mental health issues becoming more of an uphill climb for parents and even for children.
Well, what's really gotten alarming in the last few years is the number of people from that community that are committing tremendous violent acts. They pick up a gun and they kill many people.
We saw it at the school, and they're attacking. And by the way, this is why I brought up the fact that we have and I talked about the Pornhub specifically, owned by a rabbi,
right,
and the other Rabbi Shmuley who has. He basically is a rabbi, I call it rabbi, but he owns a dildo company. And so you have all of these people, they're all from the same place, right? And look, I'm gonna do this show coming up here shortly. You have Ben Carson on one side, and you got a Alawe, whatever it is, the
Trinidad.
gang member. They're both black. Are they the same?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty
They're
sure.
both black.
Well, they have complete different philosophies in life.
And characters same?
Yeah, completely different. You
Okay.
can't judge somebody by the way they look. You have to
All right,
judge by the way they think.
So then let's talk about how we crush this cartel, right? I mean, we have a cartel problem in our country. We have an organized crime problem in our country. We were on a call this morning with going through an entire timeline of Dominion voting systems related to Serbia, right? And is Patrick in there? Patrick, can make it so that everybody can hear Patrick. Patrick had never seen any of this before. He had never seen any of this. And you've had some of the opportunities where you see how I walk through and build timelines.
Right.
And so this morning I had one of my friends who's been working on this for the last 5 years that is a deep investigator that has helped me with the Coomer stuff. And so Patrick is on the call, and my friend is going through all this information. He's overseas. We uncovered the Raul with him, the gentleman that talked about the CIA working
Right.
for Fox IT, right? So all that stuff, right? And Patrick, what were your thoughts after listening for 2 hours in that deal and being shown all this documentation?
I need a help. Honestly, it was an immense amount of information that's all verifiable. Like man's got the receipts. It's just going to take time for us. When I say us, Joe, I mean you and me and maybe a couple more people, I hope. But to compile everything to the level it needs to be compiled to get the correct information in the hands of the people to hopefully finally get this stuff handled.
But it was sophisticated, right?
Dude, it's insane.
But all the receipts tying back each individual to a cartel that exists right here in the United States under shell corporations and dummy corporations and people going bankrupt and moving over to this other company, and it's including Liberty Vote.
There's a lot of people
The
involved.
new Dominion system.
Yeah. Why do you suppose they sold Dominion?
They didn't really sell it. This is like one of those other shells where you're doing the same thing all over again. So I want to.
Do you think they destroyed a lot of data in the transfer of the company?
I think it was an asset purchase only. I don't think they got any of the data. I think the data is going to end up disappearing.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. Do you think they got rid of it to get rid of the data?
So yeah, probably. But more importantly, we were able to look in, and then how they've done it is brilliant. They have this sophisticated lawfare unit over here, and they have these shell corporations and mini corporations and companies that they have over here, and you start finding out more about the individuals that run this and how they launder cash. Look, I've been working on this for 5 years,
Right.
and I'll just tell you right now, the deeper I get involved in it, the worse it gets. The worse you feel about what's happening just around you. Like you're walking down the street and there's criminals everywhere, right? And I don't mean everywhere, like everywhere you turn. But this is just one example. We were on the phone for 2 hours and we were able to uncover, and we can't be the smartest guys in the room.
Right.
So you got the DOJ, you got the FBI, you got all these guys, and you take them this information and then they sit on their hands, which is what we talked about yesterday with Eric Holt. We have a bona fide crime that was committed.
Nobody cares.
And it's not even just that they don't care. It's gotten to the point where it's as if they can get away with doing it with impunity.
Well, look what
It's
they've
a
done.
lawless society.
Look what they've done to everybody who's brought it to their attention.
Right.
They're trying to ruin them.
So you combine our societal issues that we have, right? Where you have ingrained porn, pornography, trafficking of children, pedophilia. You have some pretty bad actors, right? And then the police come in, they don't do anything about it.
Well, look at the gambling problem that started about 15 years ago, all the online gambling, and now they're legalizing it in all the states. And now you can bet on any and everything you can imagine. There could be a ping pong game in Japan, in Tokyo, where the two players that are playing each can win $500. There's millions of dollars bet on top of that.
Right.
So I mean, they've made Robinhood the app that you have on your phone to trade the stock market.
Right.
Charles Schwab's been around for what, 150 years?
Yeah.
The company's worth 170 billion. Robinhood's been around for 10 years. It's worth 130 billion. They've made gambling available 24/7. They've made porn available 24/7. The purpose of doing all this is to degrade morals of society so that the people in charge can run more amok.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute. You said something to me that blew my mind, and I'm taking it to everyone here so that you understand that when I said this, I got this from Derek, who, by the way, is ridiculously successful in his life, ridiculously, right? Makes me look like I didn't show up for work ever a day in my life. He says, Joe, it doesn't matter what the rules are. If someone is making money and they're not making money, they'll change the rules.
Oh, 100%. It happens all the time in the stock market. When the Hunt brothers cornered the silver market in 79, 80,
Yeah.
they made a rule that you can no longer buy silver futures unless you're closing a short position. So they couldn't continue to further the price, and it went from $50 to $5. I've watched it happen for decades. Whenever somebody gets, they've beat the system, they change the system.
Well, we can go back to, remember the GameStop.
Oh yeah, exactly. When GameStop started at like $5, and by the time it got to $3, $4, and it got up to $500, they changed the rules and said you can no longer buy it.
And they stopped it.
They stopped it. Robinhood actually shut it down.
Which means it could have gone to 3,000.
Who knows where it could have gone? They
Could've gone
changed
through
the
the roof.
rules, just like that.
And now they keep tabs on it. They actually changed the algorithms. They keep tabs on any stock that raises below, above 100% within a certain period of time, and all of a sudden it's a stop sale immediately.
They just did it to Beyond Meat. It was 50 cents like Monday last week, and in 2 days they ran it to $7. And just to give you an idea, they have 400 million shares. They traded 2 billion shares, 5 times the number of shares in existence
In one day.
In one day.
Yeah, what's it at right now?
Like $1.50.
Still a good buy?
No, it's going to zero. But this is just the environment we're in.
Yeah.
It's just so quick. People can make money and they can gamble on a whim. I know someone who's made and lost $500,000 4 times in the last 5 years. And, because the ability to make a lot of money really quick is there. But these people always lose it back because they're gamblers. They're not investors.
So there's another part of this that has been created is because the opportunity of the stupid to get a foolish man and his money are soon parted.
Yes.
Right?
And we've both been guilty of that many
Oh
times.
yeah, many times. Mike Lindell. Okay, I didn't say that out loud. I didn't mean it. But we have a serious problem with, I think that I've been blessed with the opportunity to go and say, okay, here's a stock, here's why I like it, and I'm usually right about those stocks. But because it's so readily available, and because they're now monitoring all the chats, and because they're doing all this stuff, they've literally limited to what we just said about Robinhood.
Yeah.
To the institutional investors, which by the way have been doing it for 100 years.
Right.
So when the people caught on to it and said, all right, we're just going to do this, now they have privatized trading for Pelosi because they said that, everyone was basically just following her trades and making a bunch of money. They were watching her trades because they knew that she had inside information.
Right.
So now they're like, okay, well, we're going to just stop you from getting access to it because they don't want the average person to make the profit that these people are making.
Right. Well, the thing is,
which means we're slaves.
I've always wanted to be in Congress just for that reason, because I wanted the inside information. Because, back in the day, everybody walked around saying, I heard a tip, I got inside information, and you acted on it. But it's a crime, but not for Congress. That's one of the perks that they have. They're able to make money with inside information, and they can do it to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars, and some have.
All right. Well, I want to show you some stuff. The government shut down right now. The stock market's going crazy. Yeah, it's still.
What has changed in your life that you've noticed the government shut down?
Nothing.
Somebody just said on the news today, it's been shut down for 28 days. And I said, really? I had no idea. If it wasn't on the news, I wouldn't know. What's changed?
Nothing. Does that mean we can just get rid of all these different?
It sounds like we don't need the government.
Yeah.
They're shut down. But now they're trying to scare people into all the food stamps, by the way. It's not SNAP benefits, it's food stamps.
Yeah.
They changed the name so people don't have to be embarrassed to be on it. And then somebody said 42 million people are going to lose their benefits. You should be outraged. I'm outraged that 42 million people get benefits.
Yeah, me too. And by the way, it's only about 14% of our population, but of that, nearly 60% of those people are illegals.
That's correct.
So they left a country that was a total trash heap, came here to the United States, got free food, free everything, and we have to pay for it. By the way, they don't just get free everything. Let me just tell you how they do it. They go write it for a cab company, and they write it under the Social Security number, or they do it under their wife, and they just make sure that the wife is then not on paper married to the husband. So then the husband basically has this thing where he has this living arrangement. He's done it, through the church, but not legally, so that he can, collect benefits. They can collect benefits, and so they double down and get all these different benefits from the government, while then over here making their own money as well. So they get free stuff from us, and then over here they eat both. So they eat better than the average family here in the United States when they game the system, and they tell each other about it, just downwind.
I think people who need help should get help.
I do too.
But it shouldn't be a way of life where you get it for the rest of your life forever. Just because you start the program, there should be a path to get off the program.
Americans don't have it for the rest of their life.
Right.
Americans get, unemployment. You're capped at $400.
And
right?
6 months or 1 year.
Yeah, and you're done.
And you're done.
Right.
Yeah. That's the way it should be. Now, as far as the illegals on it, I mean, first of all, they just need to remove them from the country. It's just that simple. My parents both were immigrants in this country in the 50s. They came here and they went the right way. And back then, you needed to apply, you needed to get approved. You didn't just show up and walk in. We need to go back to that system, because we can't just be footing the bill for all these people. It affects the cost of everything, the cost of education, the cost of hospital, medical care, food, everything. And what about housing? Notice that the price of housing is starting to come down. Well, when you get rid of millions of people that aren't supposed to be here, there's less demand for that housing because we don't have to house them.
We're on track right now for 2 million, if not 3 million. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well. But I want to ask you a question about, or I want to show you something first. We're 29 days into the shutdown, right? You said you can't even see it. I can't see it. I mean, it doesn't affect me at all. I think you just keep it shut down.
Yeah.
Just, you know what? Send all of Congress home. Don't pay them either. But Speaker Johnson said something that they have their own political survival in front of the needs of the American people. Yesterday, I had a conversation with Victor Marx, and I was talking about where we are and how do you win? What's a path to winning look like? And the problem is that what he has to say is exactly why the American people are always just on the back burner. We're an inconvenience to them living their lives. Let's go ahead and play it.
The Democrat leaders in the Senate and the House have put their own political survival in front of the needs of the American people. Exhibit A is Zoran Mamdani. New York City, America's largest city, the cradle of capitalism that has always been, is facing a real crisis right now. They've got a 34-year-old, unproven, untested socialist who looks to be the next mayor. He may well be elected. Mamdani winning New York City would be the biggest win for the Marxists, the socialists, in the history of this country. We have, to this point, in nearly 250 years, been able to hold off those kinds of ideas. We've been able to cling to the foundational principles of America, the ideas of individual freedom and limited government and the rule of law and peace through strength and fiscal responsibility and free markets and human dignity. All those things are in jeopardy when the Marxists take over. And it's the clearest sign yet that the Democrats' radical Marxist wing is winning the battle for control of their party.
All right, so I want to just point something out real quick. Everything that he said is absolute horseshit. The people don't care about any of that. You know what they care about? Johnny going to school.
Right.
Having a job, having opportunity, having education, not having their kids be groomed. People today are worried about stuff that, frankly, they should never have to worry about. A teacher telling them that you could be a girl and let's cut off your penis?
This is why parents don't want their kids in school anymore.
But you still got to pay the big money.
Well, you're paying through taxes to pay for those schools. I was just in New York City. It's really changed a lot since I left. really changed. I went to the delicatessen. You know what you can't buy at the delicatessen 3 minutes from where I grew up? By the way, I grew up in Jamaica Estates, Queens. As a matter of fact, I have a picture of Trump's house 4 blocks away from where I grew up. That was the house that he grew up in, 4 blocks from my house. You walk down to the deli, you know what you can't buy? Ham.
Why?
You can only buy turkey ham.
Why?
It's all run by Muslims.
Why would that even be a thing?
I don't know. They don't sell ham.
What did you say to him?
I said, well, thanks very much. See you later. What am I going to say? You know, it's their store. They could do whatever they want in it. There are no longer people that look like us that grew up where I grew up there. It's Asians, Muslims, and Hispanic people. That's all that's left there. That's why this guy's probably going to win. It's going to be really scary. Some people say that he should win to teach them what socialism's like. I don't think people should have to suffer like that. I think that
Well, we suffered for 4 years under Biden.
Well, we did.
And this is going to be much worse, and here's why. He's not a Marxist. He 100% is a part of, we talked about it this morning, he's a part of this radical Muslim society.
Correct.
That has taken over. And by the way, when I talked earlier about the sleeper cells that are happening in the country, they're taking over GOP positions as radicals with a smile. And when I was in the Middle East, that's the one thing that I used to do is look for tells on smiles. People be smiling at me like this, and I was like, oh, he wants to kill me.
He wants to kill you, yeah. Yeah, and you have to worry about the elections even being real. That's the one thing. With the early voting and everything else, I don't even know what's real anymore.
And I don't think anybody else does either. But that leads me to the other part, which is, there's more to be said. You had Senator Thune that talked about on the floor what Democrats are all about. Like, what are they doing for themselves? This just shows you how disconnected these people are. These are demons. Let me just tell you, the Democrat leadership, they're demons. I think most of the Republicans are too. So don't get me wrong, because I have no love lost for people that can't solve basic problems. Like, look at an election system and let the media, the mainstream media, dictate what we're going to see as truth by creating their own truth. And then persecuting people that see truth the way truth should be seen, as truth. Let's go ahead and play this.
It's all about leverage. That's what they're making it all about. Leverage. So the question is, when are American people going to matter more than their leverage, Mr. President? If there are any Democrats out there who can still see beyond the demands of their far-left base, if there are any Democrats who care about the damage that this shutdown is doing, then I have a bill right there at the desk. A clean, nonpartisan continuing resolution to fund WIC, SNAP, troop pay, air traffic controller pay, farm programs, housing assistance, our national defense, and every single other government priority.
All right. I just got the pictures back, by the way. I want to go through this. I'll finish this. We're going to come back to the monument woman. And by the way, do we have an email address or anything for that person?
For the one running?
Yeah. Do we have a phone number? Do you have a phone number?
I don't want
to. I'd love to put her phone number up here so people could call her and tell her what they think.
I don't have her contact information.
Jess,
and probably terrible. I don't have it for that very reason.
Yeah, I'm all about it, because what I'm about to show you after this is going to blow your mind, right? You're going to it. Whew. Bro, these pictures, they're really bad. I want to play this next one though. This is Tenney, the Republican from New York. Democrat Party is now controlled by the Marxist activists and dark money donors. This is why I say, why are these people still walking around? Let's go ahead and check it out.
The Democratic Party is now controlled, as I said, by the Marxist activists, dark money donors. This is not a grassroots effort. And anti-American ideology is dominating this. And they would rather destroy the system than to lose power.
Okay. Derek, I'm going to go back to these pictures. Guys, you have all these pictures in order? Let's start with the picture of Resurrection Cassidy.
Oh, boy.
All right, here you go.
These are 12-year-old boys. They're not girls, they're boys.
Yeah.
That are dressed up like this. They go to these shows.
Jackie Burhans is running for school board. Jackie Burhans, is this groomer.com? Is this real URL?
No, I don't know of that.
Okay. Whew. So they have a preaching truth and repentance to woke child drag pastor, Alicia Erickson. So they're making fun of religion.
There's a pastor in the Springs, in Colorado Springs.
Do you know who Burhans is?
Yeah, of course I know who she is.
Really? Do you know what she is?
What do you mean? Do I know?
She's a synagogue of Satan person.
Documented?
Documented.
I did not know that.
No, documented meaning she's a faithless atheist Jew.
Oh, well, I don't know about Jew, but she's definitely faithless.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, well, she's...
By all my reports, that's what I was told very clearly, that she was a synagogue of Satan person. She's a faithless atheist Jew.
Well, that's news to me. I had no idea.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Everywhere. It's like a little group. It's like a group of people. It's like Satanists. They're everywhere.
Well, they have a whole cult of these people in Monument that all they want to do is push their LGBTQ agenda.
Software product manager at IBM escorts children into drag shows.
Well, she didn't escort them in, she says. She says she was helping the parents preserve their parental rights.
Get out of here. I got more pictures for you. So you saw the picture of this person? Wacky Jackie. Put up the Wacky Jackie, the choice for D30. There's that one. Go to www.groomer.com. Here she is. Jackie Burhans, Synagogue of Satan. Indoctrinate children, champion pathways, engage the community. Groom, 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 groom. Sounds like a car that I wouldn't want to ride in.
Look at the lower right of that.
Go back.
The lower right, if you can blow that up. Look how old these children are. They're being brought in to this show. And there's a pile of vomit on the floor where they're taking them past a wino to get into this La Burla B in Colorado Springs.
There's the vomit right there against the thing.
There's a whole syndicate of these child drag shows.
All right. Put the next one up real quick. You ready? Wacky Jackie. This is Wacky Jackie.
This is your choice. Up above on the top is Ginger Shafe. She's running for school board against Wacky Jackie.
Do you see Wacky Jackie's face? You see that? Dude, these people are sick, bro. These people are very, very sick. But it gets sicker.
Now, get this. So at a forum for these candidates, both candidates were asked how they feel about boys and girls, bathrooms, sports, and so on. Well, Ginger came right out and said, I'm completely against it. Jackie spent 2.5 minutes discussing anything but being able to say that she's against it. Because she's for it. That's what she wants. She thinks they should be able to go wherever they want.
So if you go further, Scooby-Doo did uncover this woman.
We've had quite the campaign.
Where's Scooby-Doo? Next one. Should be right after that one. She literally is dressed up like death.
Yeah. Yes, and this is, of course, she would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those meddling kids like me, exposing this all. Thanks again to Jordan Scott from First Amendment Media for being at this event and getting all this footage. Now, we have inside the club, we have footage of the announcer at the club who's announcing these kids getting up. He makes a reference to grooming 3 times.
Do you have that video?
Yeah, I do have that video.
Send that video to him. Let's go to the next picture. Here's a picture of 12-year-olds. This is in Colorado, guys. This is in Colorado. This is a 12-year-old picking up dollar bills off the stage. Let's go to the next one really quick, which I think we've already seen. And then we'll go to the next one after that.
The one where the person's throwing money at them.
Order. That's not out of order.
These kids, they pick a drag mother, which is a guy dressed in drag, and that becomes their mentor to teach them how to do drag. And they take these kids to different clubs. Oh yeah, this is I think this boy is 14, dressed in drag, dancing with a blow-up doll.
With something over its mouth.
Yes.
And then look at the 14-year-old Smoke the Pancake performs at dollars in basement of La Burleby Cabaret. 12 years old, you see him picking up dollar bills. And if you go to the last picture of this, they're holding a blow-up doll, and there's probably $20 in dollars on the ground in front of these children, this child.
No normal people do this, and no normal people think that this is healthy for children, period.
No, it's not healthy. It's sick. It's deviant.
Demonic.
All right, let's go to the third set. You see the shoes that these little kids walked in. And then you have this freak standing up wearing all sorts of rainbow everything.
And then there's the guy standing outside who has the Satanic Temple t-shirt.
Yeah, let's go to that real quick if we can.
And the husband of the woman running for the school board is standing next to that guy, real chummy, for a great portion of the video that we have.
Wow. All right, so I want you to go all the way to the pictures, if you could, of the person pushing or pointing out. Now, we did gray out the kids' faces because obviously it's rather disgusting. And who is this freak? Who's this freak? Look.
Oh, that's the husband of the person running for the school board. That's James Howell. He's a community organizer. He's a
different last name.
Different last name.
Why?
I don't know, because they're woke. I don't know. They're people from the 60s that, never really got on board with being traditional families, I guess.
Traditional, because they want to destroy traditional.
They want to destroy traditional, that's
okay,
correct.
Let's go ahead and play, this video. You are? Is it, this is unbelievable.
The thing that's really remarkable is that they didn't know any of this footage existed. And she thought she could just run for the school board. They're so upset that people are bringing this to others' attention. They're calling us homophobes, bigots, every name under the sun they're calling us because we're exposing this. Listen, this is important that you don't want your elected officials who believe in this type of stuff making policy on a school board for children. These people, a lot of people think that these boys who dress as in drag and dance on stage, they think that's sexually exploiting them, okay? So if somebody is at that event assisting in getting these kids into the show to do this, why would you want them on a school board? To make policy for kids.
I want you guys to hear something. When we actually play this video, it's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind.
This is undercover video that's gotten at these events, and there's more undercover video, but this is specific to the event that Jackie Burhans was present in when she assisted these kids to get into the club. And it's billed as a drag brunch. By the way, this is at Sunday at noon. When most people are like getting out of church. That's not what she's doing. She's taking these kids to a drag club. Well, that's not true. She's not taking them. She's assisting them to get in because she wants to protect the parental rights of these children. Ed, let me see.
You got it yet? You got it?
I have a couple more pictures. There's so much video of this stuff.
We're gonna put up. I'm going to find the information for this woman. I'm gonna put it out there. So each one of you can actually call and let her know what you think of grooming children. All right, we got it? Don't test it, just play it, Trans bartender.
Those are all the paraphernalia on the wall for that strip club.
That's not Satanist.
So there are a few rules to grooming. The show, I'm sorry. I let one of the performer for my hairbrush downstairs. Is that great? That wig, grooming, 101. Right. Whew.
This is a child.
Yeah. Four months of grooming, performing. Jeez, I keep getting that wrong. Wow.
I think it's a big joke.
I need to read my script. They've been performing for 4 months now. They are the child of two amazing, legendary burlesque performers here in Burnaby. Yes. So, put your hands together for Black Calypso.
Can you imagine? You see how young those kids were in that video?
And they didn't look like they were having a great time.
No, they weren't having a good time. I noticed that as well.
How does this happen? How does a person run for school board knowing that they're groomers?
How does this person think that they can get this past the voters and their neighbors and think that they are the appropriate person to be making policy for children if they support children doing this? This is a big problem. The fact that they had the nerve to do it, and guess what? They have a lot of support from a lot of people. Well,
I'm just surprised their house stayed unburned down. I'm serious. Like I don't want to be violent. How do you hurt children? How do you do that? How do you hurt children and be able to walk around hurting children?
These people should never be near a school.
Do you know what the punishment is in jail if they find out you're a pedophile?
I'm pretty sure it's not good.
It's death. It's sure you're at least going to get beaten to within an inch of your life. If not, you're going to die.
Well, maybe that's
Those are the rules.
Maybe that's the punishment.
Yeah, but on the outside, you can do whatever you want. So I want to go back to it. Anyway, I'm done talking about that. I think that we have to get more vocal about this. I mean, at this point, this woman's not going to win, right?
I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
Is she justifying the behavior?
Well, she's supported by the teachers union, of course, and she's getting a lot of money, and she's got.
So how do you have a teachers union that would support this?
Because they're also.
Then get rid of the teachers union.
Well, there are very few left in our district. In Monument, for the last 5 years, I've been getting the list of people who pay dues to the union through the school district. See, I was very angry that the school district was.
Yeah, you're not very well liked by some people.
Well, the school district is assisting the union by collecting the dues and remitting them to the union. So I've been trying to get a hold of every teacher that belongs to the union for 10 years. Well, 5 years ago, I found a way. If they're collecting the money for them, that means that's public record. So I did an open records request for the list of all the teachers that are getting their union money withheld. And 5 years ago, I started publishing the list. And the first year, there were 110 teachers that belonged to the union. The next year was like 80. The next year was like, now there's 39. Because every year, if you're going to allow the school district to collect dues and tell people that you're in the union, I'm going to tell the whole community who's in the union.
What if they did it outside of the paycheck?
Well, then you can't tell. But I don't.
Are they allowed to do that?
Yeah, they're allowed to do it. Sure, they can just pay. They pay $800 a year. These teachers are always complaining, we don't make enough money. You don't pay us enough. But they have $800 a year to pay for the union. And 95% of all political contributions made by the teachers union go to liberal Democrat candidates, like this person.
Wackos.
Wacky
right.
Jackie.
Wacky Jackie. Well, now I want to get back to the shutdown real quick.
Yes.
Right? Because I think it's important. And you have the radical left that is calling for mass protests and people to be hurt.
On Saturday.
Yeah, which, not this Saturday, the Saturday after, right?
Well, isn't the SNAP benefits stopping this on the 1st?
Yeah, so I decided, by the way, that I was going to make sure that I was very well covered. And so I wanted to make sure, just in case that people started doing those things, and so I've moved to two. Oh, right?
Yeah, why not? You know, I hope you have extra mags too.
I do,
because you're going to need them.
But I was if it gets really saucy, and people decide to get, froggy, I wanted to make sure that I was protected.
Well, you need some backup for the ball hitch gallows in case it malfunctions.
And people are like, "Oh my gosh, Joe, you're being that could be violent." Joe said he showed a gun. He brandished a firearm on a show.
The horror.
What do you mean I brandished a firearm? On a show, it is not called brandishing a firearm, just so we're clear.
We're clear.
Right? I mean, are you offended by my gun showing you?
I wish you had a bigger mag. I wish you had more capacity in that magazine.
Speaking of that, just so we're clear, there's these new rounds out. These are called G9s, right? See, they spiral, so they go through a window at the same trajectory as you fire them. Because anybody knows when you shoot in the glass, it goes up or down, or it can go anywhere. This doesn't.
Do you sell them at DCF?
I do. Derek buys a bunch of stuff from us too, so he's a regular. I had to like squirrel there for a minute because you said Saturday they're going to be doing stuff, and I'm going to tell you that we have had this run on DCF over the last couple of weeks because people are like, I'm not. They're gonna start attacking people. I'm going to start shooting people.
Right.
And I say that very flippantly, but you don't want any people. I don't want people to suffer. Now I have a video. I didn't see it in here, but I have a video that I put up yesterday. Can you guys grab it real quick? I put in the prep. It's the one about. I think it's the Instagram one. Yeah, it's the Instagram one. Can you pull that up? Did you ever pull that down? It's literally just above the, yeah. If we can put this up. So I want to bring this up for a minute. There are single moms. Like when I was working in nonprofits, like working in United Way, and I was like, okay, let's really solve the problem, right? And I've seen how they don't solve the problem. Like I know how governments waste money because they don't give a shit.
Right.
Right, they want to go to cocktail parties and give, philanthropists. They want to put money in the bucket and act like things are good. They'll have one or two or three examples of what a child that gets access to opportunity looks like. It's like winning the lottery. Right. But a vast majority of them do nothing. And so I was this guy that came in with this breath of fresh air, by many accounts. Like people would say at the United Way, like Joe just wants to solve the problem, wants to work the problem. You'd have. Salesforce wanted to come in and have spend $30 million. I said, this is the biggest waste of money I've ever seen in my life. We can build this by containerizing one of the programs you already have inside of off-the-shelf Salesforce that collect data and everything else. And $30 million later, they had nothing to show for it. They don't even use it anymore, right? So, but my job when I was coming in was, how do I help moms?
Right.
Single moms.
Right.
So they'll keep their children, and at that point, before 2020, I didn't know that they were grooming kids. I just thought that kids were getting weird. My kids went to a Christian school, right? I didn't have problems. What they had problems with was the fake Christian behavior that happens in Christian schools, right? And the drugs and the sex and everything else that happens while you're saying, hey, pray over here. Hey, Mickey, you gotta meet me after school, right? That's what they had to deal with. But I came up with ideas that could solve that problem. The highest paid position for a single mom is a barista. They can go in, they make, if you do really well, people will keep coming back. You make tips and you'll make about, say $40, $50 an hour, $60 an hour.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money for a single mom, right? So they can make $200 in a 6-hour deal while the kid's at school. Make $250. You do that 5 days a week, and now you're making $4 or $5 grand a month, and you're not having to work a lot, right?
Right.
And you take care of your kid. But what I found was that nobody really cares about these people. Like I was in the middle of it, And I would make these suggestions.
And they resisted all of them, didn't they?
They resisted every single one of them.
Yeah.
And they liked simple, what I call one-hit wonders. You know, let's buy 10,000 pounds of beef so we can feel good, feed them, but 10,000 pounds of beef is gone within minutes. So you're really not teaching them anything.
Right.
Well, now we're not teaching them anything. We take away their SNAP benefits, and you treat them like animals. How do you expect them to act?
They're going to act like animals, you know?
And what's good for you should be good for our leaders too, right?
Right.
I mean, would you expect you to get paid if nobody else got paid? If you ran a company, would you expect to get paid first and screw your employees?
No, you have to be on an even level.
Yeah.
In that regard.
So I want to play something really quick. If you think that it's the Democrats or Republicans,
it's
problem,
all of them.
It's all, and I'll show you why. Right here, play it.
One of the hosts suggested that members of Congress should refuse to take their paychecks during a shutdown. And what did the senior Democrat senator from Vermont say? He said that some members of Congress couldn't afford to go without pay. Does he think that other Americans can? The junior Democrat senator from Arizona told NBC News near the beginning of the shutdown that he couldn't afford to miss his paycheck. This was his quote: "I'm not wealthy, and I have 3 kids. I would basically be missing, you know, mortgage payments, rent payments, child support. So it's not feasible, not going to happen," end quote. Does he think they don't have mortgage payments, rent payments, school expenses, electric bills? The junior Democrat senator from Minnesota stated that she would not be foregoing her pay because she's continuing to work. Because she's continuing to work. Do Democrats even hear themselves?
What do you think of that?
Well, it's obvious to me they want to destroy this country. I think Democrats really want to destroy this country. They've been trying to destroy it since 2016 when Trump got elected. Everything is bad. They investigate people. They create chaos everywhere they go. All those riots, all these Antifa people, they just want more and more chaos. And guess what? This was their opportunity to create it on a mass scale where 42 million people are not going to get their food stamps. I think they want it to happen. I think that this is their goal.
I want to share with you something, if I can. This is a text message from a friend of mine. I've known her for a long time. Married, has 2 girls. And I just, she sent me a text that says, this government shutdown is bullshit. I said, I think it will end here soon. They have to. In order to break the demons, we have to shut down the government. It has to happen. She goes, I'm really going to need it. I fully agree that we shouldn't be funding illegal immigrants' health care. But can the effing military get paid, please? Her husband's in the military, serves honorably. I said, yeah, that crazy that they are affected, is what I said. She says, because we can't pay the mortgage if we don't. I never have seen a career that someone can be like, well, you're not getting paid, sucks to suck. And I said, I can loan you the money for it. This is what I said to her. No. We have some stuff in place just in case. And I deliver a piece of your soul for even offering. I just don't understand how the two things should ever correlate. The government can't agree, so its protection is punished. Makes 0 sense. I said, well, keep in mind that we have demons that have taken over our communities. They're really bad. We are dealing with a seditious coup. But if you need it, I can send you all cash for sure. So this is just one person that reached out to me to say, it's a friend of mine, to say, I don't know what we're going to do. And these congressional leaders are saying, well, I have mortgages. I got to take care of my family. I have 3 kids. There's no more stark of a reality of the haves and the have-nots and the them versus us than what we just watched.
Well, it's true. They don't care. They want to create chaos. And the Democrats are angry that Trump got elected. They're angry that everything he's doing is a benefit. And we started seeing the benefits from the moment he was sworn in. And we really need to make people, they're trying to blame the Republicans for the shutdown. he just put a bill on the table that can make everything the same way as it is tomorrow. They don't want to sign the bill. They want to see the people in need the most desperate.
Because they become useful idiots.
Correct.
For the radical leftists.
Yes.
So I think what we should do is we should publish all of the Democrat senators and congressmen's home addresses so that the people can go in front of their families, their wives and kids, since they're getting paid.
And ask for handouts.
And no. And just make it so that they have a 24-hour. I think that Antifa should be in front of their houses, right? Oh, that's right. They won't do that because they want to ruin the American society. They want to ruin our communities.
Our team never does stuff like that. That's a very leftist thing to do.
I would do it. I'd do it in a minute.
Listen, I've been playing dirty in my town in politics,
you're really
since I moved there 15 years, 18 years ago. I brought the New York style of campaigning to Monument, and people in Monument were shocked. Oh, this is horrible. These people tell the truth. We can't have that.
Well, I want to show you something. This is a Fox News deal. There's an 8,000% increase in violent and
against
death threats
ICE.
Against ICE. So threats against ICE agents have skyrocketed in 2025, with DHS calling the spike an alarming consequence of the vilification of immigration enforcement. They did the same thing to police officers before. Remember what it resulted in? There's no difference in what they did in 2020 and what they're doing now. None. Zero.
It's the same.
It's identical. It's the same playbook,
Right.
which is why it blows my mind that we actually don't have people that are smarter than the average bear that can see things that I can see clearly, that you could see clearly. What the hell is wrong with these people? What's wrong with the government?
This is completely orchestrated, planned, and these are probably paid people. Just like in 2020, they're all paid.
But I want to tell you what ICE has done. And would you eat a bowl full of jelly beans if there was one in there that would kill you?
Nope.
We wouldn't sit your hand there?
Not even once.
You sure?
Nope, I'm 100% sure.
100 jelly beans. You only got one jelly bean that has fentanyl in it.
1% is too much risk.
Are you sure?
100%.
You think anyone put their hand in there and grab a jelly bean?
No, they wouldn't if they knew.
People don't want to play Russian roulette because you have 1 in 6 chance.
That's right.
Let's hypothetically say, we're going to have Secretary Noem. She's going to say a few things right now. And she's going to talk about some of the people they've taken off the street. Now, we know they've taken them off the street because we can't keep our DAs and our AGs can't keep criminals in jail because they don't even arrest their own, which is what we talked about yesterday.
Right.
You got people, you have a criminal cartel that is running our government. And that's why I said, man, we got to change the rules.
Yep.
Because we can see it. But hey, let's listen to Kristi Noem and see what she had to say.
Since the beginning of Midway Blitz, ICE and CBP and our state partners have arrested more than 3,000 illegal aliens, including rapists, murderers, and gang members that have been brought to justice. And listen, we don't want any of these individuals out on our roads, and we don't want them in our communities, and we especially don't want them behind the wheel of an 18-wheeler when they can't speak our language, they don't understand our laws, they can't follow our roadway signs, and they can't interact with law enforcement or our citizens. It's dangerous, and it's not going to happen under the Trump administration like it did under the Biden administration.
What do you think?
I think that we finally have an administration that's trying to clean up the mess that we were left with after the last 4 years. And it's long overdue.
Are you proud of being white?
I'm proud of who I am, not because of my color.
All right, don't be Mr. Unpolitics.
I've never been proud of being white. I don't think of myself as white. Only when I'm in a, listen,
Okay.
Let me tell you something. When I was in New York City last week, I did think of myself being white. I was in the train I was on the E train.
One hand on your wallet.
No. I felt perfectly safe. I felt perfectly safe. I was on a train car with 80 people. 80 people going into Manhattan. And then I looked at the makeup of the people on the train and I'm like, this is nuts. So I started counting. I counted 80 people on the train. 4 were white and 1 was a tranny.
One of the white people was a tranny?
Yes.
Were there any other trannies any other color, or we just have
I
white
couldn't tell. I just
proportionality?
can tell white trannies apparently.
All right, so here's, I grew up. I went to lunch with my friend Lamont, and he's black, and I'm trying to help him because he wants to do.
I've met Lamont.
Yeah, Lamont, great guy, right?
Yeah, super.
Really
guy.
great guy, and I've been mentoring Lamont for the better part of a decade. Played football with him. He's got hands like rocks. He couldn't catch a ball if I put it in the middle of his chest and made it stamp him. But he got better because he went out and he learned, and he did the same thing on the MSP side. He was the guy that worked for me that came to me and said, I want to start my own business. I was like, I walked him into HR and I was like, Lamont just resigned. He's like, I didn't resign. I said, yes, you did. You're going to go start your own business. And so I helped him start his own business. And he worked for me. And I said, look, I want you to be successful. And he was beaming today when I had lunch with him, right? And we never looked at it from black or white, but I told him, I said, that DEI shit's going away.
Yeah, it's going away.
Right?
It's nonsense.
I go, you need to be judged by the character of who you are, not by the color of your skin. You need to throw that shit out the door.
Right.
And then he talked about some issues that he had, and he's right. Like, there are some racial issues that exist there. There is racism that exists, right? It is. It's there. And I struggled as he's telling me these things. I listened and I didn't have an answer for him. And here's why I say this. We have created racism now because now white people are pissed.
They are pissed. You know what? That's exactly right. Because of all the DEI and all these people being passed up.
Yeah, now they're pissed.
Now they're pissed.
Yeah.
And that's created racism.
Yeah.
It all started when Obama had that policeman, or the guy who was breaking into the house at the Harvard campus.
Yeah.
And he had a beer with him. And ever since then, they've been elevating all these unqualified people to positions they shouldn't possess.
And what's I'm listening to him, and I wanted to tell him that what he said, what his feeling wasn't true. But to be honest with you, I know it's true because I've talked to other friends that are white. And, and I was in the airport and I had a black woman that literally walked to get in my way and then said, get out of my way. And I'm like, fuck off. Right?
That's what I would have said.
Yeah. And I'm like, get out of my way. I pushed my way through her. And because she said, right, you pushed me around for a long time. I said, I just pushed you this down. Bye. I didn't say that, but I just walked right through her. Because she looked for someone that she thought that she could belittle. And she found the wrong person,
right? Obviously,
right? And I wasn't going to put up with it. And I pay attention to my surroundings.
Yeah, always
so
be in state of orange.
I saw her zigzag into my space. I'm like, oh, this is going to be interesting, right? And I just pushed right through her. I stood there for a second. I was like, bloop.
Well, people are angry what they've done. They have, with this whole DEI thing, they've created tension and anger and animosity
100%.
Between races and gender and the whole gamut of things. It's just really out of hand.
Yeah, and so here's where it becomes a problem. How do I say that to Lamont? Well, you get what was asked for.
Well, he didn't ask for it.
No, and he didn't ask for it. But what I'm saying is, societally, they've created the synagogue of Satan. Have I believe this group of people is orchestrating a narrative that is leading us to a place. Now, keep in mind, synagogue of Satan people have also said, we ain't white, we're Jewish. No, you look whiter than snow, you're white as hell. You're white. No, we're not white, we're Jewish.
We're not white.
Right? It's like a whole new race, right? It's like they're different, right? They're not brown, they're not black, they're Jew. It's a new color.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's a new color. They're not. You know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they say they're not white.
I did not hear that.
Yeah, they say they're not white. Put up the comments. You can see it. They're saying it all the time. Oh no, we're not white. We're Jewish. I'm like, wait, what? So what color are you? We're Jewish. Okay. You're white as hell is what you are, right? But you can see this kind of happening. And look, I believe, I'm going to just tell you right now, just like what I said, Ben Carson over here, Trelo Alawagwa, whatever it is. I always make fun of them. The Tranny Aguas.
The
Tranny Aguas over here. This guy, just got done gangbanging. This is Ben Carson. 2 black people. Are they the same?
Nope.
So we have to start differentiating between people and being smarter than the dumbasses that are making us stupid. Right?
I agree.
So I ask you, are you proud of being white?
I guess I am. What? I don't know. What's the right answer?
And the reason that you even ask yourself that is because they have instilled in you white guilt.
Of course.
Right?
That's the whole purpose.
If I say I'm proud of being white, then you can have black pride, you can have Asian pride, You can have pride, whatever that is.
Right.
Tilted wrist pride.
They get a whole month.
Right? They get a whole month. Black people get one day.
No, they get a whole month. They
Bitch.
get the month of February.
Oh, black people do?
Yeah, I think Black History Month is February. Then June is for the gays, and we don't. Oh, that's true. They got. You know why?
Damn it.
They put Juneteenth right in the middle of Pride
You know
Month.
what? I think Asians
they should be mad.
Get,
they got nothing.
No, they should be like high SAT day. Because them MFers, I'm telling you, if they're not getting a perfect 36, they're not getting a perfect 1600, they're like pissed. Right? Average score for an Asian is like 34.5.
I tell you what, the Asian people are angry that they're not getting as many spots in colleges with their high scores.
For it. Yeah. You don't qualify for Harvard. You're too smart. You're too smart.
We need you're not anarchist.
You're not anarchist. You're not allowed here. Go back. You're over there. Go over there. And it's some little like midget Asian dude. No, I only won. Nobody else come in here. You get out now. Go. Get out. All my Asian friends, I'm so sorry.
I feel like I'm back in New York hanging out with my friends.
The whole production room's cracking up like, oh shit. Did he actually say that? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I feel like I'm back in New York hanging out in the street corner with all my friends.
How we talked.
That's how we talked. I know.
And we didn't care, black, white.
Care. We still don't care. That's the best part.
No, we still, and that's my point, is that we are creating an entire group of people who are saying that you should not be proud, right? I mean, my family, look, don't come to dinner if you're hanging out with our family. We'll be like, what's up, Spooby?
I'm sick and tired of people trying to get me to stop saying the words I grew up with, like retard.
Yeah, I'm going to say retard the other day. Now, I do get offended by people using the N-word in any capacity. Even if you're a black guy and you say it, I'm liable to rearrange you, right? Because you're using it in a derogatory sense that you think you have permission to. You don't have permission to. Like, you shouldn't use a word that was used as in a state of oppression, and you shouldn't use it against your brothers and sisters, right, as a state of oppression, because that's what you're doing.
I grew up in a household where the word never came up.
Yeah, no.
You know?
Well, it came up in our house, but I mean, that's because we were very inappropriate. My family's interracial.
Right.
Super inappropriate.
I know.
But look, if you said something like that to my family, I learned as I got older that there are ways that you can degrade somebody's psyche by just using the wrong word. You can. It's a real thing.
Isn't that what we're supposed to do, to poke at people?
Hey, do me a favor, if you can. Patrick, can you go upstairs for me real quick and take a picture of the board in the conference room, and it shows trauma. It's a trauma chart. It's on the right-hand side. I built this. Okay, look, I wanted to ask you if you were proud to be white, because we're going to be talking about this guy. This is the mayor from Minneapolis, Socialist-Muslim, who hates white people. He's the perfect face for the Democrat Party. He looks like he's straight off the Somali terrorist bus.
Oh, I think I just saw this.
Yeah, Omar Fateh. You have good Muslims that just want the same things that everyone else does, and then you got bad, and there's a lot of bad. Let's play cut one.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Somalia. Hiran State. Mawisle. Early voting was hadda illa November 4. I need your vote. I need you. Hadan Udkina, hello. We're gonna win.
That's scary.
It's very scary.
Because you actually don't know what he's actually saying. Just like you can't get ham. By the way, it's not just a Muslim issue, it's a Jewish issue. Wews don't have ham either. So there's a underbelly that's happening that is an alliance that we're not paying attention to. We're not paying attention to it. Here's cut two, here's Omar Fateh. The real domestic threat is, play it.
Heard them being called terrorists. We heard them being called drug dealers. We heard a lot of insults. We heard that they're a threat to our national security, and that's a flat-out lie. You want to know who the real threat is, Madam President? I'll give you a hint. They don't look like our chief author. They don't look like the folks up in the gallery. They don't look like the folks on the rotunda. They look like many of the members that sit in the front. And you don't have to take my word for it. According to DHS, Madam President, the greatest domestic threat facing the United States comes from, quote, racially or ethnically motivated violent extremists, specifically those who advocate for the superiority of the white race, not our immigrants. We are safer and we're better off because of them.
Safer and you're better off because of the drugs that are on the street. Tell me which city in the United States is actually safer today than it was 10 years ago.
I don't know a single one.
Tell me a city that has less crime than it was 10 years ago.
None.
Show me one that doesn't have degradation or doesn't have a higher murder rate than it was 10 years ago.
Probably none. I don't really know. I know that the murder statistics back when I was growing up in New York in the 70s.
Yeah, we're higher.
They were 1,800 murders a year in New York City. Now they're substantially less. But I don't know why that is. It doesn't feel safer.
SSRIs?
Well, that's part of it, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a real problem because I want you to see this. This is a candidate, this Omar Fateh. He barely uses English. We're in the United States, and he's not going to win. He's not going to win if the elections are free and fair, which they aren't if you use machines or mail-in ballots.
Right.
But let's go ahead and play this. This is, yeah.
Getting things done like tuition-free college. Getting Uber and Lyft drivers increased wages. At the city level, we can get those same improvements for our Dalinyero, for our workers, people that are whether immigrants or undocumented immigrants, providing them opportunities to start a local business.
Providing them opportunities to start a local business. Let me finish it for them. Is this what opportunities look like? Differentiating, saying you got to be a gay Uber driver or you got to give free education?
No, he only wants to help, a certain group.
If education is about indoctrination, do they really learn anything?
No.
And are they likely to have any sort of ability to think for themselves or to create opportunity for themselves?
No, that's the
whole point.
The whole education system doesn't do that. The education system has gotten worse and worse.
I think that's one of my biggest issues is that we have village idiots like this stick figure, whatever he is, Somalis, who doesn't understand anything about America, who said it's violent white people.
Well, they're trying to implant themselves in areas and take over the area and then expand and expand and expand. They've done it all over Europe. There's so many places in Europe now which is run by all Muslim people.
So you know what this leads to, by the way? War.
Well, sure.
And we're headed towards it.
I used to think...
And we're in a lawless society right now.
Right. Well, they allowed so much crime to go on in the cities starting in 2020 with all the Summer of Love that people feel emboldened to be able to just fight back. The thing is, we will never start the war. We're only going to react. And that's what makes us different. They're willing to start the war. They're the people with the ideology that's violent. Our side is not usually a violent side.
Yeah, I just kicked somebody out, by the way.
Out of where?
The thing. I hope I didn't kick out the wrong person. If I did, you're going to have to send me an email, but I kicked you out because I saw somebody put something in there about food and trying to advertise on here. If there's a hissing in my mic, let me know. I just saw that you said something about a hissing in my mic. If there's a hissing in the mic, guys, you need to fix it afterwards. All right, so I want to show you something else. This is Somali, not Minnesota. This is Minnesota Democrat Mayor Jacob Frey is trying to please his local Somali Muslim population, doing their dances in a room filled with Somali national flags, not American flags, Somali national flags. This should be illegal. Go play it.
This is completely staged.
Yeah, it is staged.
100% staged. I mean, everybody had a flag. It was all colorful. Where was this, in a mosque?
No, it wasn't. Look, I don't have any problem. I tend to know a lot of people. Last night, by the way, I was at the basketball game. The Nuggets just absolutely smashed this other team, the Pelicans. It was good to see Jordan back on the court. But so I was at the game, and I know a lot of people. So I'm there, and this guy's like, "Hey, I'm a dentist." And shout out to my friend Paul and my friend Colin, who run a very successful dental practice down in the Springs, near you. And they're one of the biggest. And so I go, "Hey, do you know Paul and Colin?" I won't use their last names for their deal. He goes, "Are you serious? I work, that's where I work. I work with him." He's an endodontist. "I work with him." And I was like, "Really?" He's like, "We gotta take a selfie." So I took a selfie. Everybody around me is like, "How do you know this many people?" So I know a lot of Somalis. I know a lot of Somalis in Minneapolis. I know the ex-Somali president that I met with years back at the National Prayer Breakfast. So I know a lot of people in that environment. And a vast majority of Somali people don't support any of this. But as you talk to some of them about what they're dealing with, they really just want to break free and become Americans, but they can't. They're held hostage. And I just want to point out the fact that it's not just, like we think that they're all on board with this. They're not on board with this.
Why do they feel compelled to be?
They are forced to be. And that's why I know the little stick figure won't win. Here's one thing Somalis do know very well. Somalis do not represent Somalis very well. A Somali gets to a place of authority, forgets about where he came from almost immediately. They have zero regard for the people around them, zero, right? Because what motivates them to get in that position is not to help the people. It's to help themselves. Yeah, which is, it's cultural. I want to tell you this is, as we start looking about what's happening in Minneapolis, we've got to stop this trend. And look, I don't care if you come to this country and you're Muslim. We're a Christian nation, period. You want to be Muslim? You can. You want to be Jewish? You can. You want to be Hindu? No problem. Sikh? Go ahead. We don't care. I do care about assimilation to the society that we have and not doing what is just happening in Dearborn, Michigan. Let's go ahead and play it. Okay, I want you to know something. That is at 5 o'clock in the morning. That is 5 o'clock in the morning. It goes against the noise ordinance. You have people that literally can't sleep. It's one of the reasons why you have noise ordinances, right?
Right.
Now, back in the day, in the 50s and 40s, you would have Christians that would have this whole idea that you could go and they would have the church bells that would go off at certain points, and then they got rid of the bells. And the reason they got to get rid of the bells is because it would wake people up that were having to work. And a lot of this was happening in farming communities and things like that. Well, then in Dearborn, Michigan, the call to prayer is at 5 a.m. And so citizens voiced their concern at a city council meeting. Let's go ahead and play it.
But the mosques in East Dearborn are now at times waking us up at 5:30 in the morning with the call to prayer.
This is Dearborn resident Andrea Unger at last night's city council meeting stating that mosques using outdoor loudspeakers for their call to prayer should not be allowed, and says she believes it's not supposed to be allowed per city ordinance.
The noise complaints have been made out and the police have made numerous visits. What is the next step?
There was some question whether or not any outdoor loudspeakers are allowed, something that was not clarified, only that more evidence is being gathered. But CBS Detroit did examine Dearborn's noise ordinance and found that loudspeakers between the hours of 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. are in violation of the ordinance.
So what do you think happened?
They're going to stop it right away.
No.
No?
Here's a response from the city council to the residents.
We have to go by first. The police is checking the decibel level. But I know what you're saying. Regardless of the decibel level, there's not supposed to be exterior speakers.
Right.
And that's what we have to look into. So
You can just look at the building and see them.
I know. You asked us last time and we requested that because we asked if there was any permits and there was no permits of record for those installations. So we have to find out. People sometimes take into their own hand of doing something. And we have to then react to it. So that's what you're bringing forward to us, and we will definitely look into it
So
for you.
when I come in 2 weeks, you'll tell me the same thing.
Ms. Unger, I think that's extremely unfair.
This has been 2 years.
Ms. Unger, I know.
It's been 2 years. 2 years she's been going to the town council meetings. For 2 years, and 2 years, this is what this clown's been doing.
This is why people lose their mind.
This is why people decide to take things
Matters
in their own hands.
That's exactly right.
This is why you get to tiki torches, and this is why they control my voice. They control many voices on social media, is for this exact reason. This is the reason why they control it. And then we get to free speech. Like I'm not allowed to say what I just said. The last two shows that I've had, by the way. Show about pornography, Pornhub being owned by a rabbi, the Rabbi Shmuley that owns the dildo factory, OnlyFans being owned by a Ukrainian Synagogue of Satan Jew. I mean, we have a real problem. We have a really big problem. Free speech is under attack everywhere. I'm not allowed to talk about that. I'm not allowed to talk about the next day when I said the DA down in Colorado Springs, El Paso County, Eric Holt, he has him red-handed committing election fraud. The ADA calls Daddy, who represents the fire district, who fired Eric Holt for uncovering it, and Daddy represents the fire district. The son represents the fraud charge for election fraud, dismisses it the same day that he decides to take the deal for the fire chief.
It's a big cabal.
It is a big cabal. It's a big cabal. And free speech is under attack. And more than free speech being under attack, we have complicit judges all over the country. A vast majority, 80, 90, 95% of these judges are sleeper cell terrorists. They're terrorists against the United States, against the people of the United States.
I mean, they've been doing it with every executive order that Trump does.
Everyone.
They're striking down. And the thing is, they're never held accountable. And until you start holding these judges accountable, it's not going to stop. There's no penalty for what they're doing.
This is why I talked. This is why I talked specifically, and I said specifically that at some point, Derek, we're going to have to rip the Band-Aid off, and we're going to have to say, look, we're going to take care of the criminals. You put them in the place. The judges, we have to set it up to kick the judges out. We have to sign the Insurrection Act and recognize that this is an active coup against the American people.
By the judges.
By the judges, because they're the ones doing it.
Right.
They're the ones saying that I have supremacy over the President of the United States. They're the ones that are standing in the way of us actually uncovering and getting to the bottom of election fraud, because they're the ones that are acting and saying, per se, I find that there's already defamation. So now the jury just has to decide to what level and whether or not it was malicious.
Right.
Right? So they're already standing on the scales of justice because they're just terrible people. But you're only going to have so many people that get away with taking this much money off the table from people
before people lose their mind.
Before people lose their mind and do whatever they have to do.
And it seems like they're pushing and pushing and pushing. It's almost like they want it to happen.
No, I don't think they do. I think that they are relying on the consciousness of people. I just think they haven't realized that the consciousness of people are at the place where they don't want to live in a country like that.
Right.
And we're not Great Britain. Like we're not these other countries. We're fighters. We like to fight.
But look what they're doing in Canada and Great Britain. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable for free speech.
So let's talk about Tucker and Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson. So Tucker and Nick Fuentes sat down, and Tucker was called to be neutralized by Josh Hammer. Now, I need to show you this tweet. Josh Hammer, calls for Tucker Carlson's execution because he dared interview Nick Fuentes. So what double standard? When Josh Hammer, calls for Tucker Carlson's execution because he dared interview Nick Fuentes. There's radio silence from the chosen ones and their minions. Where are the calls for hate crimes and inciting violence? On Monday evening, the most dangerous man in America, Tucker, sat to interview a confused millennial. The fox, Tucker, is now comfortable, ensconced in the hen house, and unless the fox is neutralized, the victim could be the entire extant GOP coalition itself. Unbelievable. So I want to read part of this to you because it is interesting that we actually look specifically at this. Let's see if I can get it right here. He says some more stuff in here that I thought was interesting. They refuse to concede that an American might support close-knit U.S.-Israel relations, not due to moral or financial blackmail, but due to an earnest assessment that the alliance furthers Americans' interest. Do you believe that?
No.
Why? I mean, you have the same mix-up in your family that I have in my family.
These people have been assaulting free speech and expression ever since COVID began.
Yeah.
And it's really gotten out of hand.
Would you loathe a tranny a la agua the same way that you would loathe Ben Carson?
No, because
Do you loathe Ben Carson?
No, I like Ben Carson. I like his ideology.
The tranny a la agua?
No, I don't like these tranny You know, I think bad people should be looked at as bad people, and good people should be looked at as good people.
Are the Jews that are a part of this cabal the same as the Jews that are in Israel?
Of course not.
Are the people that are in these cabals that run the financial institutions and are overrepresented all over America and have brought degradation and brought deviancy to our country, are those people indicative of the faith-loving Jews over in Israel?
Definitely not. And in the last 50 years, the amount of degradation since we were kids it's so exponentially worse, and it's getting worse. I keep waiting for us to hit the point where people say, okay, enough. And I keep thinking, okay, we're there, but I'm not seeing the results that we should see.
This is, if anybody goes back and listens to this again, I want you to listen in all of it, because we planned this out to kind of walk through all these different things that are happening. One, local, what's happening in Monument. We talk about what's happening in Minneapolis, the hate for white people. And now we talk about the fact that you're not allowed to talk about the thing out loud, which is the same reason. And I'm gonna put it out there. You want to know why Hitler was so popular?
He was a good speaker?
No, because he wasn't actually attacking Jews. He ended up attacking Jews. But what he really wanted is he wanted this control to stop. He wanted this thing that you see to stop. And then he went nuts.
Right.
And he fell off the wagon and he killed a lot of people. By any estimate, it's close to 30 million people that he was personally responsible for killing, right? But what you have Josh Hammer saying is that Jews are untouchable and that they can hide behind the ones that are captured. I call those people captured. People in Israel are captured. They are useful idiots, the same way the Americans are useful idiots for our politicians who don't want to give up a paycheck, but want to tell you that you're not good enough to get a paycheck. So I put up this tweet. And I said this. I was really simple. Marjorie Taylor Greene said the First Amendment that protects Americans' free speech is the first because speech itself, mere words, are the most powerful. We must never allow our freedom of speech to be violated, slip away, or be ripped from us. To cancel others' speech and demand they are canceled is the most un-American thing possible, no matter how much you disagree with someone else. But for an American, Josh Hammer, to publish a hate screed about Tucker Carlson, also an American, demanding Tucker be neutralized or murdered, in a UK publication, why ironically is a country that is currently arresting people for the speech, is so disturbing on so many levels. First, why would the Daily Mail approve of Josh Hammer calling for Tucker Carlson to be murdered? Which he clearly did, referencing Tucker as a fox in the henhouse and saying he must be neutralized, which means killed in order to protect the victim. This, by the way, is true. I'm going to talk about his response too. The Daily Mail has now broadcast worldwide Josh Hammer's call for Tucker Carlson's assassination. That's a serious problem for Josh Hammer, but now also for the Daily Mail. Tucker, you should sue all of them. And secondly, the newly formed sect on the right that demands others be canceled for violating our precious First Amendment, seeking to destroy certain people's rights to free speech, and clearly don't value freedom the way we do. If they don't like someone's words, they can now just muster up their own. In fact, Josh Hammer just did, and everyone knows exactly what he's saying. I stand with Tucker Carlson, and I will always fight to defend free speech, but not death threats or assassination whistles. Now, Josh came out on this deal, put his hand up in this, and says, one has to be truly stupid or willfully disingenuous for both. If you go down in that tweet, by the way, he says this. You can find it for me. One has to be truly stupid or willfully disingenuous for both, as the case may be, to think that neutralized here mean anything other than its most common usage. Quit lying. And neutralize, it says, to make neutral, cause to undergo neutralization, to make something ineffective, counteract, nullify. Okay, here's your problem, Josh, you stupid little. You use the fox in the henhouse as an analogy. You knew what you were saying. You don't do anything other than put the fox down. You kill the fox when it gets in the henhouse. So you stop lying, you stupid little prick.
It's a military term to neutralize.
100%.
It means to eliminate them.
Yeah.
Eliminate, neutralize the threat.
But this is what these wacko leftists do. This is what they do.
And that's how they incite.
I tell you what, come to my house. You come to my house to do harm to my family, I'm going to neutralize you.
And guess what?
I'm going to unalive you. I'm going to just tell you right now. Don't sit here and lie, Josh. And the Daily Mail, man, you know what? You can piss off. I'll never look at your publication again. It'll never happen.
There's crazy people out there that are going to take that as an invitation to go after Tucker Carlson physically.
Tucker Carlson, by the way, in the interview, I just want to be very clear. In the interview, do you know what he asked for?
No.
Stop killing kids in Gaza. Do you know what Nick Fuentes says? Stop supporting these radical synagogue of Satan assholes that have taken hold of the American culture. You know what the end result is? If you get rid of them, you stop the people of Israel becoming victims of the entire world thinking that Ben Carson is the same as Tenney Aliagua.
Yeah.
Right? And we can't get to that place. We cannot get to that place. We cannot get to that place. It is impossible to get to that place if we allow them to capture our speech and to call for the death of Captain Obvious at this point, because that's what Tucker Carlson is. He's captured freaking obvious. So I said very clearly, Josh, you're trash. You're nothing but a piece of trash. And by the way, if you want to say you only got 15,000 people on Twitter, I did that in a year, never advertising anything, by the way. I had 200,000, they canceled that. Got to 29,000, they canceled that. I'm at 15,000. I watch my tongue pretty well now, don't I?
Lately.
Yeah. So, I mean, will they cancel me again?
Yes,
I don't know.
They will.
And I don't care. I'm still going to speak the truth, Josh. And by the way, I've accomplished more in my life, in my pinky, than your stupid ass has done your entire career. Because I built everything I have, and I didn't step on the synagogue of Satan to get to the place where I wanted to silence Americans. But you did, you little prick. All right.
You know the best part about this show?
What?
That at the end, after we get it all out, we pray it all out.
Pray it all out. I want to do this, though. We got Josh Hammer, after his comments describing where he sees Tucker Carlson doing, this little prick had something to say. Let's go ahead and listen to the stupid little prick. Go ahead.
To me, that is what the Tucker wing is trying to do. They're not trying to kind of have an inclusive movement, right? They're not trying to kind of have a marketplace of ideas, kind of free for all conversation. That's what they would have you believe. That's actually not what they're interested in doing. They're trying to burn it all down. They're trying to destroy the current iteration of the American right, literally destroy it root and branch, and then build something new in its stead.
All right, let me just put it this way. I'm not the rabbi that has Pornhub in every state in the United States that 2 billion people a month go and watch.
Right.
Right? That's not me. Oh, that's right. That's a rabbi. But I'm trying to burn it down. Tucker Carlson's trying to burn it down. We're all trying to burn it down. But the midget's not trying to burn it down, Derek.
No, you know, the moral compass of this country has been falling for decades. And in the last 10 years, it's gotten to the point where it's too much. And we need to bring it back. And I don't know how we're going to bring it back.
You beat the living shit out of the midgets. That's how you bring it back.
I'm not
you want to know how you bring it back? You stop little midgets like that calling for the assassination of Tucker Carlson. That's how you bring it back. You don't let a little midget sit on the thing and say, they're not for it, they don't want you anything. All right, Luigi, I got you. I got you, Luigi.
Can you imagine how much money has been spent on security for all these people that the left has been going after?
What did I just show you?
You know, security all around.
I got hammer and jack, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Right?
Yeah.
I run out of one, throw one down, bam. I'm going to put 2 in your chest. I don't care anymore. I'm sick and tired of having to look behind everything because somebody wants to silence us for speaking the truth.
And it is.
And now this stupid little midget doesn't want to talk about what Tucker said, just wants to call him an anti-Semite, which Tucker Carlson is not an anti-Semite. He's a humanitarian. That's what the guy is. He's always been that way. Someone attacked him literally at a park in New York City. He was fishing, and the guy didn't like him. So he came up to him and started giving him a hard time. And Tucker diffused him, and he's like, yeah, I like to fish. It's kind of fun. You see, I'm going to catch his fish, right?
A lot of restraint.
Because he's a nice guy.
Right.
Right? He's a nice guy. But you can't be a nice guy anymore. You can't be a nice guy because you got stupid midgets and you got the Daily Mail that decides. And by the way, this is why people don't like me. They don't like me.
Why,
they don't
like tell the truth?
Because I tell the truth.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well.
And Josh Hammer, you're a punk little bitch. I'm just going to tell you right now. You're a punk. You're a punk. You've never accomplished anything, right? Never accomplished anything. You're a talking head that literally stands up for these radical people that have done nothing but destroy our country. When you call yourself a rabbi and you go after children and you build out stuff like stepdaddy on Pornhub and sleep with your stepsister on Pornhub, and you have OnlyFans that are degrading and teaching kids to give away their bodies and to be promiscuous, that's your little tribe, Josh, of the synagogue of Satan. So piss off, you little midget. Okay, now we have this reporter that went back and forth with Gavin Newsom. That's how I really feel, Derek. Sorry.
I know how you feel.
All right, I was just to make sure you knew. I wasn't sure I was very clear.
You were clear.
I wasn't very clear, right? I got a big fight, by the way. I put something up on my thing, and people said, you have to bless Israel, bless, bless, bless. And I'm like, God does not tell me to bless Pornhub people that walk around saying they're rabbis, right? And they're like, oh, no, you have to forgive the sin. Sin and evil are two different things.
Listen, Israel was the one that was the biggest country to force their citizens to be vaccinated.
Yeah.
You know.
Because the people are held hostage.
They are held
hostage. Treni Alawagwa, Ben Carson, okay? Treni Alawagwa, whatever the heck you want to call it, Agaga, all you guys down there in Colombia now that are hanging out in the prison, God bless you.
Yeah, right back where they belong.
It's a difference. And I don't agree with what Nick Fuentes says about them all being in one bucket sometimes. He speaks the wrong language. They're not all the same, right?
Right.
A Toyota is not a Lexus. All right. Here's a reporter and Newsom that went back and forth about transparency because he's so mad, that little, Newscomb is so mad at President Trump, is so upset at President Trump for tearing down the East Wing. Man, you know what? They've done it 20 times over the last 250 years. Oh, but Trump did it
Did you see the timeline that Trump posted on the official White House thing? Did you see where he gives the year in Monica Lewinsky, and then he shows when Obama had the Muslim people in the White House, and then he has Hunter's crack discovered in the White House. Did you see that timeline?
Yeah, cocaine.
It was fantastic.
It's unbelievable. Anyway, President Trump, get Tina Peters out. I'm going to say it again, get Tina Peters out. I'm headed to D.C. in 2 weeks. I'm going to sit down. I don't care if I have to sit outside and be like, hold us. I'm here to see President Trump. I am going to get to the bottom of all of this stuff that I have, that I went over 2 hours this morning, and stop this whole madness with the DOJ not doing anything, because everyone should be under arrest. Now, I think they're doing it, but
it's too slow for us.
Too slow. Here's New Scum talking about this project. It's what, a couple $1 billion being grifted from the people of California. Can't answer the question. Go play it.
I have an off-topic question, but I think both of you mentioned the ballroom. I want to first acknowledge that neither one of you are leading the Capitol Annex project, but Mr. Attorney General, you voted to approve it in 2018. Mr. Governor, the Department of General Services, which you oversee, is part of it. It has been 3 years since the legislature updated the public on the cost of that project. It is happening right now. I think maybe one of your windows could probably oversee it. You can see the construction is happening, but yet the legislature's Joint Rules Committee refuses to provide an update. We've reported that they have violated the Legislative Open Records Act. They are continuing to withhold public records. I have asked for an interview for more than a year now, and no one will provide an update. I mean, is that appropriate on one of the most expensive buildings in the United States at this point?
You're my turn.
and I will say, and
by the way, I don't think it's appropriate. They should provide you the information, period, full stop. But for you to conflate or compare and contrast is, with all due respect, I think that I would separate the ballroom and what Donald Trump just did in desecration and the process, and that he evolved in the fact that he secured $300 million under curious circumstances from the annex and what the legislature is trying to do. And I'm not trying to defend those actions, but absolutely.
I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying that you mentioned the construction. I mean, there's construction happening in that capital and our capital. I have an off-topic question, but I think both of you mentioned the ballroom.
Okay, so let me just be. What do you think?
I don't know. He's trying to insinuate that he got $300 billion from some nefarious.
It's over $2 billion since 2018. It's still not done. 7 years later, in the Capitol, still being done. Billions of dollars spent. Not one person will account for $1 that's been spent in there. And let me just tell you something else, just for the people in the back of the room, here you go. Here's the list of donors for the $300 million ballroom.
They're a great list of donors.
Yeah. I mean, some of them are. I mean, Palantir, you could argue that they've sucked up contracts and this is just a way to get more.
The tech companies haven't given enough, I'll tell you that.
Meta Platforms, Micron, Amazon, Apple, Trua. I like the Litnick group family because I don't know who they are.
You don't know who the Litnick?
Benjamin Leon, right? Junior, Benjamin Leon, great guy. I'll give cash. I'll give some cash. Mr. President, I'll give you some cash. How much money do you need? You need money? I'll give you money. I'm willing to contribute to it. I'm sure everyone else is too. We'd love to be a part of a project where we can get rid of the sullied memories of past presidents that have committed treason.
You don't know who the Lutnick family is?
No.
I'm going to tell you who they are. Howard Lutnick.
Oh, I know Howard Lutnick.
He ran.
What's wrong with me?
Yeah, he lost 650 of his employees when the towers came down.
Yeah.
And his brother was in there at the time.
I apologize. Yeah. I do know who he is. Sorry.
Howard Lutnick. He's Trump's. He works in the administration.
Yeah, I apologize. Yeah, he's negative.
He's quite a guy.
He is. All right. Got to tell you guys, listen, there has been fire today. I had a good time with you.
I always have a good time with you.
It was good. It was good to be with you. Let me see it. Cookies make me happy. Twat waffles. Who says twat waffles? That's not very nice. Oh, ultra mega pat. I don't even know what that's in relation to. I'm just reading the comment. So I just saw twat waffles. Okay. Got rid of the bells because they rang as frequently good for the human body. Rang a frequency is good for the human because they were. Oh, maybe. Asher says they got rid of the bells because they rang a frequency is good to the human body. It was a big thing though that they got rid of them because of the timing of those as well. But really good to see you, Astra. Charlie says fine and should be good for 100 plus every minute they play. Full part of the English breakup. Trying to see stuff that's interesting. You guys aren't talking to each other. They're saying stuff to me. So, I'm sorry, guys. I'm way behind on comments. I just realized that I was almost 500 comments behind. Okay. Derek.
Yes, sir.
We have a brother. His name is Dave Bear. And Dave Bear is he had his second week of chemo treatment where he had to be in the hospital for it. He has an aggressive cancer. This is the third time that he's had it. Last night he had to go back to the hospital and get a blood transfusion. The treatment that he takes, these transfusions that he takes, kills 98% of the people. Roughly 2% survive the treatment. I'm asking for everybody to pray for Dave. His name is Dave Bear. Without Dave, I wouldn't be alive. He saved my life in 2020. Blood ox was below 70. I had COVID really bad. Couldn't taste. I gave up alcohol. So did you. Years ago. I gave it a year ago. But I couldn't taste it. That's how I figured out that I was sick. I was drinking a bourbon. He's still taking ivermectin. He's still taking fenbenazole. He's still taking all the stuff he needs to take. But he is our brother. And so I just ask that everyone pray for Dave Bear. He is a true brother in so many ways. Oh, so difficult. So we're going to pray for Dave, pray it out. We do have a fax blast that went out today, and it's Guardians Under Fire. You can catch it on the website. I'm not probably going to read it. If you could just take that, by the way, copy and paste it into the comments, or where they can actually read it. I want them to read it, but I really want to pray Dave out at the end. Can I get people to follow you?
Follow me.
Yeah, will you actually give them some stock tips? That's one of the things I want to talk to you
There's
about.
nowhere to follow me. I'm not even on Twitter. I don't even know how to use it.
You're on Facebook.
I'm on Facebook.
Yeah. So it's Derek Arahi.
Arahi. The J's like an H.
Oh. What? Pat said something? Let me see what Pat said. Pat says, never heard of that. That's not true. I don't know what you're referring to. Sorry. We're going to pray for Dave. We're going to pray for other people that are listening to this show that are maybe facing the same type of thing. And I want to tell you just a quick thing about Derek. Derek came to the Lord in the last 5 years. Really came to the Lord in the last 5 years. They had to split his chest open the same way that they had to split Dave's chest open because you had a bad ticker. Am I allowed to say that? You're going to give me for a HIPAA violation. No. It's a HIPAA violation. I should know that. But Derek and I have been walking together for the last 5 years. I'm going to add another prayer, and that is, we've been dealing with this problem where somebody basically stole a bunch of money from Derek. I've been working with him for the last 3 years on that. So we're going to pray for an outcome. We're going to pray for God to get involved in that as well. Substantial amount of money, 7 figures, substantial 7 figures. Now some of you say, like, I don't have 7 figures, and I will tell you that Derek doesn't either now.
You know, it really tests what kind of a man you are to lose 7 figures.
Yeah, trust me, I know. I got a 7 figure.
You got your own 7-figure problem. We're in the 7-figure club together.
Club. And but God is sovereign. God is a sovereign God. And we just need to ask him. We just need to talk to God a little bit. And so I'm just going to ask everyone, and yeah, you know what? I still don't like the midget. I still don't like the midget hammer.
We're going to pray for him?
I'm not going to pray for him. I'm going to pray that God handles him.
Okay, that's okay. That's good.
Yeah, that way I'm praying for him. That way I'm praying for him that God can handle him.
We're more Old Testament today, huh?
I got a little New Testament for you. You know what the New Testament is?
What is it?
John 14:6. You know what that is?
Should I look it up?
You know what John 14:6 is?
Not offhand.
I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. You know what that tells me? The synagogue of Satan Jews can't get to the Lord. They can't get to heaven. They know they're going to hell. That's why they're trying to do everything that they can. It's the curse. Because if you remember anything about John and what he said in John, is this was right before he was crucified. So he knew that he was talking about those people who said that they wouldn't take the prophets, they wouldn't take his message. They denied it. And he's like saying, okay, let me just tell you, you cannot come to the Father except through me. So good luck. It's not going to work out for you. So anyway, it's John 14:6. It's a pretty powerful deal. All right. And yes, I'm a feisty one from the south side of heaven. Right? All right, let's pray. Derek Arahi, by the way.
Arahi. I pray that Joe gets my name right one day.
You know what? Here's the thing. I know how to get him really riled up, because then he goes like this. And if that's the worst thing I do to him, we're in great shape.
We're in great shape.
All right, do you want to start us out and then I'll finish this? You want me to start it? You sure? Yeah. You want to pray first? Just leave it open. When you stop praying, I'll jump in and pray.
I want to pray for Dave Bear. Lord, hear our prayers and please help him. Give his family comfort in his time of need. We've been praying for him at our breakfast every Tuesday morning. And let's pray for Joe as well. Give him some peace. Go ahead, Joe. Pray for me.
Oh, Father God, we are so grateful. You know, we are grateful for the talents that we have, the abilities we have, the experiences we've had in our life. We're grateful for this great trial and tribulations that we have today. We're grateful to be a part of whatever this is, whatever we're trying to work out, both here in the U.S. and around the world. We're grateful for the great revival. We're grateful for what TPUSA does. We're grateful for what Dave Bear has done. I'm grateful for what Derek, my brother, has done. I'm grateful for the brotherhood that we've been able to create. I'm grateful for the people that are listening. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to use my voice effectively to draw people closer to you, but also to understand that we must yield the sword when fighting against evil. Father, we are in this place right now where we bring before you in such a powerful way a prayer of healing. We ask you, Father, to heal Dave Bear. We know that, life is hardly ever fair. Life is hardly ever not going to be marred with trials and marred with, health concerns and relationship issues. But Father, we bring this before you. Dave has done so much for so many people, and we ask you, Father, we bring it to you and we just say, Father, please heal Dave Bear. We ask you, Father, to supernaturally heal those people that are listening to this podcast right now. That you will heal them of their ailments, that if they could just have faith, that restoration, that you being restored to not just our country, but to every country on the earth, Father, that they can turn themselves to you, that they can be healed. We ask you, Father, to strengthen the resolve that Derek has to solve this problem, this financial problem, and as little as it may be, that it can come to some sort of solution. Father, I ask you to give those that are suffering right now the ability to calm their hearts. And Father, I just ask that our leaders would finally do the right thing. And as much as I say finally, that they will do something unselfish and serve the people that they have been selected or elected, either way, to represent. Help us, Father, that we could do what we need to do in order to preserve our country, to right set our resources in our nation, the people in our nation, the leadership, that it could be designed and pushed towards a place where it could represent the people. Father, I ask you that you just gut the the judiciary. Find a way to get all those people out, that we can stand behind leadership inside of our government at the federal level and even at the state level in some areas, that we can find the courage and find the commitment to the American people to preserve and restore everything that is good about this great nation that you have blessed for 250 years. Father, we bless you and we thank you, and we are just grateful. And I say these things humbly in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Hey, listen, guys. Sorry it was a little bit longer of a prayer. I had a lot in my heart right then because I had a lot to say. John 14:6. I'm sitting here cursing people. I didn't do it though. Jesus did it. So, and by the way, you can check every translation. It all means the same thing. And you're like, well, wait, what did you just say?
I just read it in the last week.
Yeah.
I'm reading the whole New Testament.
You are.
By the time time this year's over, I will have read the Bible cover to cover twice this year.
2 times. And he does it by just 45 minutes.
30 minutes a day.
30 minutes a day. There you go.
30 minutes a day.
30 minutes a day.
If anybody wants to know how long it takes to read it, it takes about 90 hours.
90 hours to read it.
Yep,
now, do you read it or do you listen to it?
I do both. I read while I listen.
Listen. Okay, so you get it both ways.
Yeah.
It's like osmosis in reverse.
Yeah. I need, because for me to focus, I need both.
Yeah, I agree. Nehemiah chapter 1, read his prayer. God is a covenant keeper. He will restore us when we repent and seek his face. Father, I repent and I rebuke the things that I said that would be not worthy of you, Father. And I do that publicly in front of all of these people. But I still want to punch a terrorist in the mouth. Sorry, Father. See, I think God has a sense of humor.
Of course he does.
Yeah, I think he does. I mean, he had me, right?
He had both of us.
All right. Hey, God bless you all. And to all, a good night.
Good night.
Rise up untamed in the heart of the fire where the wild ones roam. Joe Oltmann's calling, bringing truth back home. From conservative daily to this untamed fire, we shatter the silence, lifting spirits higher. No chains can hold us, no lies can prevail. Authentic and fearless on this rugged trail. Patriots gather under stars and stripes. Untamed nation, igniting the night. Untamed nation, let the truth roll out in this land of the free. Standing proud from sea to shining sea, we won't back down. Catch the fire, wear the crown. Untamed nation, it's our battle song, motivating hearts where the brave belong. Yeah, untamed and wild, forever strong. Play it again all night long. Break the mold, chase the real, no more games, time to heal. Joe's voice leads the untamed crew.